Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the February 24th edition of Carolina Week.
We'll tell you what the university system is facing post-Bowles from a man who knows well what UNC needs.
Credit cards can be anyone's worst enemy, but what does the new law mean for students?
In sports, men's swimming gears up for ACCs, and we try to sort out all the injuries the basketball team has suffered this year.
Weathercaster Morgan Brooks will tell us what's up with this week's crazy weather and what we can expect for the weekend.
All that and some witty UNC students competing for a chance at fame. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
What's the best way to make your university studies coincide with what you want to do as a professional? Good evening, I'm Andrea Blanford.
And I'm Elizabeth Lamb. Thanks for joining us. Many students would like to make sure there's a connection between the two from the start of their academic careers at Carolina. UNC System President Erskine Bowles' recent move to begin working with the Obama administration has left some wondering about the direction of the university. Take a look. Since the news of UNC System President Erskine Bowles' decision to leave his post here at UNC and take up another in Washington, D.C., some have been wondering what's next here at home. President Bowles has been in good company since his work began in 2006. Former President Bill Friday, who works out of Gray Memorial these days, says the next system president should follow in Bowles' footsteps.
Yeah, we do. Because you want the president to be very much alive in what's going on in the United States, because that has a great deal to do with what's going on in the world.
Friday says whoever becomes the next system president will have to tackle big issues like making sure admission to state schools is within everyone's reach. Readying the UNC system to handle its future students is also at the top of the list, as is making sure current students can succeed, despite increasing tuition costs.
People say, point to North Carolina is a low tuition. It's not a bargain mentality. It's the state's investment in its own future.
On top of all that, the bar has been set for the incoming president to maintain UNC's academic standards and solid tradition of research, like here in the Caudill Labs. Although Friday says the UNC system could function for a while without a president, he knows from experience that leading 16 universities is a team effort that needs a strong point person.
But don't forget that the heart and soul of the place is the faculty itself, and they make the reputation. They do the teaching and research, and administrators are just lucky to get to go along with it.
The next system president will have a lot of work ahead of him or her, but UNC administrators are hoping that transition will go as smoothly as possible.
Some students would like to see better collaboration between university career services and academic advising. That was one of the issues Chancellor Holden Thorpe addressed Monday at an open house. Advising and career services aren't connected, and students want to know how the two could be combined to help them find internships based on their majors. Academic advising and UCS are in the process of merging servers so that administrators in both departments can better assist students' needs. But Joshua Ford says the two services are already more connected than students think.
In other news, the first stages of the Demario Atwater trial are underway. Atwater is one of the two men charged with killing former student body president Eve Carson nearly 2 years ago. The jury selection process began Monday and will continue throughout this week. Atwater faces federal carjacking and firearm use charges related to Carson's 2008 murder. His attorneys requested that the trial be moved out of state because of the public attention the case has received. The trial is set to begin in May, and the judge has until then to decide whether or not to move the case.
An important source of financial aid is running low in North Carolina, and time to find a solution is running short. Time is money, and North Carolina students may be running out of both. The deadline for financial aid is March 1st, and an important source is quickly dwindling. S-sheet money comes from the sale of unclaimed property, and money is going out of the fund faster than it's coming in. Hillsborough native Emily Walton is one of the 55,000 UNC system students eligible for the aid, and she doesn't want to lose this funding.
If the state decides to cut back funding, it's going to make things a lot harder. It means I'm probably going to wind up taking out a lot more private loans than I did the first time around.
Because of the financial crisis, private loans aren't as available as they once were, and so students like Walton might be out of luck if this source of funding dries up.
Even if students can pay, what if there's nowhere to stay? UNC could be soon faced with another problem, a housing shortage. UNC is expecting a shortage of beds for its students by 2012. This will be a problem as the university continues to grow. According to Campus Housing, 85% of first-year students live on campus. If they can't find a room, they'll have to turn to Granville Towers or off-campus housing, which are more expensive options. There are currently no plans to build new dorms or expand current ones.
If you're a credit card holder, you no longer have to worry about unexpected increases in interest rates, thanks to a new law that went into effect this week. The Credit Card Accountability and Disclosure Act prohibits companies from increasing interest rates on previous balances and requires a notice before increasing interest rates on future balances. The act should stop credit card companies from marketing on college campuses, but as students approach graduation, one of the next steps in life could be getting a credit card. UNC senior Cameron McLean decided to get his first credit card yesterday.
I'm going to need a credit card when I graduate, but I think now's a good time because I can still get the student discounts. I actually got a Discover card, which is like they get like 5% back on certain things.
But keep an eye out. Industry experts warn that credit card companies could still try to make up for lost revenue by increasing other fees. Coming up after the break, many people consider nursing a career primarily for women.
We'll introduce you to people here at Carolina who want to break this stereotype.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Listen to Uncle Johannes. Raisinbrahms make you grow up smart and successful so you can be a doctor, lawyer, handsome genius composer. Like me.
Feed your kids the arts. Visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
Hey, good game. Oh, there we go. Great game, man.
Let's go get a win!
This year's MVP goes to Jake.
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
Despite an economy leading to a loss of jobs, demand for nurses is growing and exceeds the demand in all other occupations. Health reporter Carl Kelly tells us about some at UNC who'd like to see more men in nursing careers.
More than 500,000 new nursing jobs will open nationally in the coming decade. Yet, only 6% of nurses are men. UNC nursing professor Ed Halloran is working to bring more men into the profession.
There has to be some sort of real attention paid to the recruitment of men in nursing because it's just not on the radar of young men and boys. It's certainly just off the screen.
That's not the case for RN Keith Stinson.
Well, if you're looking for a challenging career that's always developing and changing with times, nursing is the way to go. As a male nurse, there are some stereotypes that you need to overcome.
Images like this reinforce the idea that nursing is a woman's job. At UNC's nursing school, Rumay Alexander deals with perception issues every day.
Well, men have always had a challenge with coming into the nursing profession. Some of it has to do simply with the word nurse and how people have stereotyped what that means.
Nursing, and I have a master's of family nurse practitioner.
Army nurse Angelo Moore is part of a group of men at UNC's nursing school brainstorming ways to improve the profile of men in nursing.
There's a perception problem, and we need to get more men out there so they can share their experiences in nursing.
A Boy Scout troop recently toured the hospital to see the exciting places men work in nursing.
Everybody needs a nurse. Healthcare quality and patient safety is based on having enough nurses. Some hope that more men will walk into these classrooms and join the profession.
In Chapel Hill, this is Carol Kelly, Carolina Week.
Thanks to Carol Kelly for that story. At UNC, 12% of nursing students are men. That's slightly higher than the national average of 10%.
Every 10 years, a new generation has the power to make a change. A few UNC students plan to do just that by spreading the word about the census. You might be surprised that the U.S. Census influences things from building locations to funding. A few UNC students are competing nationally in a public relations contest, encouraging others to make a pledge to answer a few census questions. Through social media sites and a little attention in the pit, these students aren't trying to influence just their community, but going for the gold with a sweet strategy. Megan Sapman-Field says it's time for this generation to step it up.
Empowerment for us, and this is another, civic duty that we should feel obligated and proud to perform. It's an easy way for us to make our voices heard.
Census takers have had until April 1st to mail in their completed forms.
The last of the snow is finally melting, but more is on the way and sure to leave even more puddles across campus. Factor in the rain, snow, and we hope soon to be warmer weather, and what do you get? Mosquitoes. That's right, all the standing water is prime breeding ground for a buggy springtime. Mosquitoes reproduce by laying their eggs in stagnant water, where they soon hatch and grow into those little bloodsuckers we all hate. Experts say draining open containers like flower pots and unused garbage bins is a great way to prevent mosquitoes from taking over your yard when spring finally arrives.
Members of one campus organization thinks it's important to pay homage to heroes. Golden Love is an organization with the purpose of serving the university and the surrounding communities, but promoting leadership through programs that address minority needs. The group held its annual Honoring Our Heroes program Tuesday night, giving the campus and community a chance to share and celebrate their heroes. Campus sororities, fraternities, and performing arts groups paid tribute to their local heroes and past civil rights heroes. Sometimes our differences bring us together to talk about what we have in common. On Tuesday night, students and faculty of every race, gender, and sexual orientation gathered in the campus Y to discuss gay identity. Video clips showed some disturbing images, but sparked an engaging dialogue about religion and homosexuality. Other key points from the forum included gay representation on TV, homosexual stereotypes, and how we can all work to be more inclusive.
2 students are proud to have their work on display after winning a prestigious campus photo contest. The campus group Advocates for Human Rights displayed the winning artwork Tuesday night in the Student Union Art Gallery. Emily Carter and Elizabeth McCain are the proud winners of the contest. The contest goal was to highlight human rights work by students. The artwork will hang in the gallery until mid-March. It's hard enough taking midterm exams, but imagine releasing an album at the same time. Meet one lucky UNC senior passing the test. 22-year-old Colby Ramsey is anticipating the release of his album on Friday, The Study of Animal Magicality. Ramsey won a record deal with Vinyl Records, the on-campus record label, in February 2009. Since then, he's worked with co-members of the Tar Heel Voices and the UNC Orchestra and Vinyl Records to complete his first album. You know, Andrea, I bet he's singing in the rain with all this rain today.
I'm sure he is. It is coming down out there. Well, weathercaster Morgan Brooks is here to tell us more.
That's right. It's been a messy and rainy day today throughout the Triangle and much of central North Carolina. We could see that transition into snow as temperatures drop below freezing. More on that after this break.
Escucha Smokey antes de tratar.
Solo tú.
No juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego. Fuego. No hay nada para tu pobre conejo asustado, a un pobre ratón sin casa en que vivir. Si un hermoso bosque es lo que deseas, no juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego.
Solo tú puedes prevenir los fuegos forestales.
¡Fuego!
Honey? The credit fairy doesn't exist.
What?
It's make-believe. Nobody left anything under your pillow.
If there's no credit fairy, then we'll make our credit score go up.
We will. By doing things like paying our bills on time.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
What?
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Morgan Brooks with the rest of your week's forecast. We've seen rainy and messy weather out there today in the Triangle and central North Carolina. You've even had snow to the northwest of the area, and we could see light snow in the Triangle later tonight as temperatures drop below freezing. We do have a winter weather advisory until midnight tonight, so be aware while you're driving that the roads could be icy and slippery. Not only will tonight be below freezing, but every night for the rest of this week will be in the 20s, very cold weather. We will have a nice sunny weekend though, so look forward to that. You can see on the U.S. satellite that we have snow falling in the west from the cloud cover and transitioning into rain as you go to the east. The surface map shows us that this low pressure right over North Carolina and South Carolina is bringing us rainfall right behind it. And then there's another low pressure right up to the northwest that's going to bring winter-like weather with this cold front, colder temperatures. But behind it in the west, we have this high pressure that's going to bring us our dry skies this weekend. It might be a good weekend to head out to Appalachian Ski Mountain. They have up to 121 inches of packed powder in some areas, and they could get 3 to 5 more inches of snow in the next couple of days. Saturday and Sunday are both going to be around 40 degrees with winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour if you're heading to the beach instead. Wilmington looks like temperatures will be in the mid-50s both days this weekend with mostly sunny skies. You should get away with wearing just a nice warm sweater during the day, but as temperatures start to drop at night to freezing, you're going to need that winter coat. If you're heading out to the Battle of the Seminoles versus the Tar Heels tonight, on the way in you have a 70% chance of seeing precipitation, but on the way out of the Dean Dome you only have a 30% chance. It's going to be around freezing during the whole game, so you'll want to wear your sweater or winter coat. Tonight in the Triangle, temperatures are going to drop down to 30, 32 in Greenville, 34 in Fayetteville. You might see some snow early on with a little bit of accumulation, but tomorrow those winds are going to be blowing. Gusts up to 34 miles per hour with temperatures around 39. It's going to be freezing. Wear a scarf and gloves, whatever you can to keep you warm. It's going to feel much colder than 39 degrees. For our 5-day forecast, Thursday night's going to be around 27. Friday, it's going to warm up to around 49, but it'll still be very windy with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And then it's pretty much the same story for the rest of the week with temperatures in the 50s and lows in the 20s.
Morgan, it looks like we've got some nice weather on tap for this weekend. Can't wait.
It does. I'm hoping to be able to enjoy it.
Me too. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Well, Orange County Animal Services graces us with 4 furry felines for this week's Pet of the Week segment. Take a look. These furry friends are looking for a new home. Princess, Scar, Shadow, and Nancy are sweet, playful, and in need of your affection. While Princess, Scar, and Shadow are short-haired gray kittens, Nancy stands out as a short-haired white and gray calico. These curious and energetic kittens will leave you fully entertained, smiling guaranteed. If you're interested in adopting one or all 4, please visit our website at carolinaweek.org for a link to the shelter. Well, our basketball team faces the Seminoles tonight.
Sportscaster Justin Page is here with more about that.
Absolutely. Big game tonight. Heels in uncharted territory. They're actually trying to keep a winning record. Never thought, UNC fans would ever have to hear that phrase. But coming up after the break, the UNC baseball team is back in action and bringing out the bats.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
We all know Haiti was hit by a devastating earthquake.
Tens of thousands of Haitians have died, and that number is rising.
We don't have time to sit around and talk about what we can do to help.
You can help by donating today.
Do you like this top? So gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Sounds like you could use some Van Gogurt. It's fortified with arts-rich nutrients to improve your math and reading skills. Catch!
Van Gogurt, thanks. So what's the deal with your ear?
Always with the ear, huh?
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Thank you for staying with us and welcome to sports. I'm Justin Page. In a disappointing men's basketball season, there have been a lot of issues. One nagging problem, injuries. Reporter Simone Scott joins us live in the studio. Simone, it seems that injuries have really been piling up the past couple seasons.
That's so right, Justin. In the past few years, we've seen way too much of this. It seems like every game, the Heels injury report grows longer and longer. The starters on this year's team has missed a total of 19 games so far this season, and there will be more to come. Ed Davis' injury is projected to take 6 weeks to heal. Reserve Travis Ware has missed 4 games with an ankle injury, while his twin brother David is now expected to be out the rest of the season with a torn labrum. One possible reason for the injuries is that the game is more physical. Players are bigger, faster, and stronger than ever. Even Coach Williams is surprised by the amount of injuries he's had this season. Coach said, "It's the most unsettled team I've ever had. Just the nagging injuries and taking people out of games. The last 3 years, we've had more injuries than any other 5 or 6 years I've ever had as a coach." Justin, even Bobby Fraser realizes the problem. He tweeted, "It must be the Jordan's shoes. I've never seen a team with so many ankle injuries."
Now, Simone, that's a great question, but correct me if I'm wrong. It seems that the team is having much more than just foot problems.
That's so right, Justin. We've had Tyler Zeller, Marcus Ginyard, Ed Davis is out with his wrist, while Tyler, Marcus, and Justin Watts all have ankle injuries. And then, like I said before, David Ware is supposed to be out the rest of the season with a hip problem. But one bright spot, Justin, we've had 6 scholarship players not miss a game yet due to injury. Knock on wood.
All right, Simone, I'm sure that UNC fans, we all will. That's Simone Scott. Thank you so much, live in our studio. The Heels hope to avoid additional injury tonight to their bodies or their egos against Florida State. Pitching is always the strength of the Diamond Tar Heels, and when the bats come alive, watch out. Yesterday against UNCG in the 3rd inning with the Heels up 1-0, Brian Goodwin knocks in 2 runs with this triple. The Diamond Heels would wear out their arms waving runners in all day long. They scored 12 of them. Also in the 3rd, first baseman Dylan Haslett smacks one through the gap for 2 RBIs. You see Levi Michael right there crossing the plate on this one, and later Haslett picks up where he left off. He bats in another run and finishes 3 for 4 on the day. And how about a little defense? Watch this play right here. Ryan Grapel, Tommy Coyle, and Dylan Haslett combined on the 6-4-3 double play. UNC gave up only 2 runs, and they dominated the bases too, stealing 7 of them. But Coach Mike Fox still left the field unsatisfied, but his team left 11 men stranded on base.
Well, you know, actually we were a little disappointed because we felt like we left second and third, I think, 4 times in a row, where we felt like the game should have been a little bit more out of hand earlier than it was.
That's the tough standard Mike Fox holds his teams to. The men's swimming and diving teams will host the ACC Championship starting today. UNC finished 2nd in the regular season with a 6-1 conference record. The meet will crown the conference champion Saturday night. Assistant coach Mike Litzinger is embracing the home pool advantage.
We've been practicing here all year, so this is, it's 25 yards anywhere you want to swim, but it's our 25 yards this weekend.
In some off the court, away from the field news, Whitney Ingen is the 2009 Women's Soccer ACC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Ingen adds this hardware to her mantle after already collecting the Honda Award for women's soccer, designating her as the top athlete in her sport. We have a busy weekend ahead in Carolina sports. On Friday, you can catch the baseball team at 3 and the women's lacrosse team at 6. Saturday, the Diamond Heels play at 2, and Roy's boys will be at Wake at the same time. Be sure to set your DVRs for that one. Sunday, women's lacrosse hosts Florida, and baseball caps off the weekend series against Maine, both at 1. Plus, the women's basketball team tries to right the ship against Duke at 3. The men's swimming and diving teams, the softball team, and track and field will all see action. So it seems that this weekend there is something for absolutely everyone. Be sure to get out there and cheer on your heels.
That's right. It's overwhelming how much there is to do this weekend.
Absolutely.
To pick and choose. Thanks, Justin. Well, coming up after the break, experts say if you're not laughing every day, then something's wrong.
But some UNC students are trying to help you fill your laugh quota.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week and Carolina Connection online at carolinaweek.org.
These things we count on every day started as ideas. Ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov.
Well, it's not every day that a college student gets to meet and perform with a famous comedian.
Tuesday night, several UNC students stood up for the chance to do so. Chris Neal was there.
The 7th annual Carolina Comedy Festival kicked off last night with a bang and with plenty of laughs. The Union Cabaret was the place to be for 22 student comedians participating in the student stand-up competition. UNC senior Sam Morgan organized the event.
This event is just to get student stand-up comedians a chance to perform, and they also win a chance to open for Lewis Black, the best of them, and it's just part of students getting involved.
Each contestant had 3 minutes to entertain the crowd of nearly 200 people for the chance to open for the famous comedian Lewis Black at the Carolina Comedy Jam this weekend. All of the participants brought their unique styles to the stage and didn't disappoint.
If you're at a party and a girl offers you some yaz, don't take it. I look back at the screen, he's destroying me! You lit a girl on fire, and I was like, Shorty's burning up the dance floor. And they were like...
The judges chose 9 finalists to attend a workshop with Lewis Black, but only 2 will get to open for the big show.
We try to give them a lot of opportunities to meet professional comedians and then do their own comedy.
That's unheard of for, college students in general, and I know that's a unique opportunity offered us here at Chapel Hill, and I'm very grateful for it.
It's not like anything else. I started doing comedy here, the improv stuff, 2 semesters ago, and it's the best feeling in the entire world to, make your fellow students laugh that much.
Several UNC comedians competed right here in the Union Cabaret, making hundreds of their classmates laugh. Not an easy task, and although the spotlight feels nice, I think I'll stick to news reporting. In Chapel Hill, I'm Chris Neal, Carolina Week.
That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.